chill.
What happened there?
I fancy
Leave
some
nothing
tobacco.
out.
I don't
Refill,
like
boy.
Ruthard, true, but in this case it
I apologize,
really
sir.
was nothing.
Which one?
Everyone in the
White
city gossiped
top
about
high.
it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Ruthard will cause any trouble. He
sir.
is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king
Well,
is here.
thank the Lord.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. I could understand it with mercenaries, students, and other scum of all
Boy,
kinds. but
I'd like
city
some white.
councillors?
Be specific, Forsooker. Are you blaming one of us?
Ah, and look who spoke first.
Sir?
First of all, it wasn't a duel. It was
Don't
supposed
hang
to
around
be an
me.
honorable
Vanish,
combat,
you hear me?
and I didn't even take part in it.
And that's the only reason you're still here on the council and not in the pillory.
If you want to blame somebody, you should point the finger at the youngster here who's...
Excuse me.
Ah, never mind.
Boy,
I
Come here for a
suspect the
moment.
gentleman from the city's sword fighting
Refill,
school
sir.
brought
Do you
this
think I come
custom
to the
to us.
council just to
It's
guzzle
now
wine?
run by
Come
the
here.
German Menhard. Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous, Forsooker.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot. Now,
I really shouldn't, sir.
a fine servant you...
By the bailiff. And that's that. There are more pressing matters.
Another drop of wine.
More pressing
Don't make
than
me
the open
beg.
contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently
I
settling
apologise,
accounts
sir.
their own way.
Which
we'll
wine?
soon be the
White
laughing stock of the
Tokai.
whole town.
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us all day long. So what if they have one more reason?
Sir?
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles, and no one is left unscathed.
And you, a councillor, let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of customers.
Ah, to hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
Since there is the eternal dispute over the cathedrals, The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to Mokarol mining city. Why can't we build faster?
Hey, waiter!
Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Because those so-called craftsmen are a band of parasites. You pay them, they come late, or report sick, and if they do come,
boy,
their work is
where
shit,
is my
and
white
you have to pay
shirt?
someone else to put it right. It's a waste
You, lad.
of time.
You look
I tell
familiar
you,
to me.
a waste of time.
No.
Don't interrupt the proceedings with your drunken ranting, even if you are in the right. And as for you, Endelin, haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the
Hey,
city
boys.
behind
Sorry.
your complaint.
I wasn't paying attention.
Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen.
Sorry?
That space in the side nave is mine.
Then Hellfeast is over, my friend.
It's you?
Your place is
I
at least
see
two
you've come
steps
up in the
behind
world.
mine.
From
The
a bathhouse
swordsmith
boy to
dares
a waiter.
insult me?
You'll go a long
Ah,
way.
I
Might
think
make
not.
councillor one day.
Excuse me. You wanted to buy
You're a
yourself
merry
an altar
soul,
in
lad.
the cathedral.
I like that.
Just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those
I
wrestlers
apologize,
of
sir.
theirs, of course.
Which way?
People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago,
sir.
the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had
Thank you,
forgotten.
waiter.
What do we have to discuss next?
I'm telling you, something is being planned. Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Juchek Össe, Alegiop Katonaikat, Ishkelkinek Udra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this plan of false!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujitz parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, though, maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so...
I wouldn't be too sure. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
I'm glad you finally accepted my invitation. I almost lost all hope.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off.
Sighs in church like she's moved by the sermon, but she should do some reading on intemperance.
You're confusing crime with sin.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Kuttenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzig Kobyla?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzig Kobyla, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare.
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
As it happens, I've got nothing better to do anyway.
Excellent. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome, because it would mean slow but certain defeat for all of us.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
I'll get on it then.
I wish us both luck.
Success to our...
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek. And he's a great lord.
That's hard to believe.
Martin likes to exaggerate.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until...
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
Was ist denn los? Ein Bier bitte.
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up, then.
We'll talk later and in private. Right now, we have more important things to attend to.
Don't try my patience.
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sasau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
I'm not happy about it. This isn't how I...
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Stand firm.
Not
Otherwise,
for a
the
priest.
first strike will put you on your arse.
That was sneaky. Sacre. You're fast. That was sneaky.
Fuck you!
Not bad for a priest.
Aim with your whole arm, not just your wrist. You don't know which end of that thing is up?
That was sneaky. Not bad for a priest.
What's wrong with your legs?
That will do. My God. Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
And no luck again, eh? When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
I've got to get him on our side.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that.
After your encounter with Father, actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want.
What else can I do?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll...
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan. It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against...
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to...
You're starting...
Look out!
Exactly why we mustn't push too hard.
Burghers, patricians, and usurers. They're without honor.
Sir Bocek, I need to speak...
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put it... Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling...
On the contrary. I've come here with an...
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms?
A few thousand men-at-arms has a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my...
How can I persuade...
I need guarantees of security.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting...
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my... I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord bless me with a large... I can't risk it all in a conflict with...
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you...
My guarantee is called Yitka. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that...
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable druid.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want it.
I believe Lich...
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sig...
How about you...
He's a young...
What's wrong with him? He He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting, and he'll give her...
And to half the wenches. On the other hand, the Lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush, maybe it's not...
So...
Your first, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place.
And what if...
I don't care what the young lord thinks. If he agrees, I'll be...
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop
Sir Hanush.
You do? Let's...
Young Lord Cape...
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter pregnant, I'm not going to support...
You misunderstood my meaning. I mean, with your...
You arranged a marriage for my ward?
With the niece of Sir Bushek, Lord of Kunstadt.
Bushek of Kunstadt? Godwin, you conniving old...
Oh, fuck.
I don't be so... Young Han?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the rat out.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be... Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you!
Sir Bushek, your niece Yivka can start
So Hanush agrees?
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my...
Thank you.
Enough formality.
Cheers to the...
Here's to a...
God be with you. There's something I'd like...
God be with you.
Your diplomatic support.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady.
To muster an army that Margrave...
Christ. Be praised.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine.
Then you're in the right place.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. So, to the point.
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you...
Then I'd be helpful. If you want me to support you, you...
Do you have something in particular?
Well, one of the guests here has...
Who's that?
Haman Al... Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with...
All right, I'll help you.
Aldo will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed. Bring them to me, and put... But watch yourself. Odorin's groom had...
Not looking back.
Christ be praised.
What are you skulking around for, you crook?
Huh? Did I imagine it? I heard something. I suppose it was nothing. What's that? Ah. Strange. Nothing, I suppose.
I've got those papers from all...
Quiet!
Lady, with all the clamor going on here they are.
You're more capable than I expected.
You're welcome.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein.
Thank you.
Yes, quite. But
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady?
And to the six...
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the success...
Is this supposed...
Like I said, miracle... Tell me, Godwin of...
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bojek of Kunstad...
Both of them. Good.
This is going to be a long story, and I could use it.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! Yeah. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will.
You've already said that.
We will put more guards on the roads, and we can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter. Why haven't you done?
We don't know who is behind this.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side.
We do not...
Marquardt, could you spare a...
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could, and if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters...
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wage.
Your Majesty, we can't...
Silence! How dare you? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
And drunks! Give them hell! Lazy fools, the lot of them.
How dare you?
Some of you are even swelling right here in the city council meeting. This is unbelievable.
Remove this swillpot from the hall immediately.
I'm telling the truth. This
Lord of Zarzhitz, your insolence just cost you your place on the council, and a month in the dungeon.
But...
Hopefully that'll be enough for him to sober up. And if not, put him in the pillory for a while, bailiff.
I'll see to it as soon as the council is...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges. Not during my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. You were given a few but instead of working on them, you idle and let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But, unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, you have 2 weeks to... I want clear, and you answer only to me, and Sir Marquardt von... The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you are harsh, rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the King's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. Then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, my lord. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, Your Majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the council was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Raposh. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Oderin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of it.
White it is. Quickly! If Raposh falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
We could use it to raise this town all too. I have some suggestions. Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
No, so we left a long time ago. I swear to God, I saw the sausages right now.
When those two go, carrying their clothes.
What's all Kunstler doing that from? I would just call...
I'd rather eat well.
Meum est propositum tabernagoris.
What's that over there?
I'm filled with grease. The roast was calling out to me, begging to be eaten.
I couldn't resist it either. The sausages were false.
Mutamur inis.
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, touching, come now.
I never had truth. Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more.
See now. I'll gladly... Only, there's nothing to drink.
Fuck! I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get some...
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as...
To hell with that keg slop. Your father should... I had my eye on him all evening. And left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh?
You can bet on it.
I don't doubt it.
By carrying that.
God be with you.
Vouch for me. I see 4 hooves, a mane, and a tail. And I say...
Having a good time? It's a fucking bore. Well, what are you missing? There's wine, food. Nah, I'd rather have a game of dice.
Don't you dare get into a fight with anyone. You know what?
Aye, I forgot. Only the younger Lord of Rabos is allowed to give anyone.
Leave it out.
Well, they wouldn't have to force me. That young nip.
Well, let's have a game then.
Forgot.
Playing for coins,
I might have something.
And what might that?
Let's keep it a surprise.
What the?
You bet.
God be with you.
God be with you.
God be with you, my friend.
Having a... Well, what are you... Don't spy. Well, let fuck.
Playing... And what?
Let's... What? You...
be with you.
Having you. Well, what are you? Don't start. Well, it fuck. Playing and what rates? What you?
God be with you.
God be with you.
Having. Well, what are you? Well, let's have fuck. Play and what rates? What the hell? You.
God be with you, my friend.
God be with you.
You can dip that rotten carrot in lard and ram it up your dry arse.
I was just having a laugh with you. Lighten up a bit, eh? But if you don't like your prize, hand it over here.
Here you are. Not much use to me.
Ah, you've got no imagination. It's not for eat. Like I could shove it down the back of the cousin's shut. G'day.
Don't know the world of the lords.
Lords and ladies. You either ignore us or slander us.
We do? Who do you mean?
Not you.
Have you ever thought about...
How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel with Sir Hanush?
All hail Jobst! He sorted out things here nicely. He got my money for a start, but you know how it goes. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I sent my captain with him. He's still young and full of piss and vinegar. I'm too old and fond of my comfort.
Did you at least discuss?
Nothing to discuss. It'll be at our castle. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here, and that still wouldn't be...
Ah, but there are 2 castles in Rattay. I'd bet my right arm old Hanush.
What? In Rattay? Well, I ought to look into that then.
Deal with him yourself, though. I won't be your gent's messenger.
Then we'll have to discuss it.
Somewhere with a mighty hangover.
I am not...
How'd you like our wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France. Recipes are passed on from father to son. I myself was practically raised on wine. Even the French royal court took note. The king himself had wine delivered.
So you're not too...
Comment dire? If you try hard, you may have...
Begging to be eaten.
I couldn't resist you either.
You're wrong. In a battle, your life depends on you still. Tony is the last thing we need.
Sorry.
From cleaning up...
I've come to rescue you.
Really?
Well, it occurred...
Do you play dice?
You mean...
You strip if you like. Either way, you'll end up bare-assed and with...
I'll give...
Not up. Look, if...
I need help with something. I mean, the one...
And you're...
I should say so.
And I'm... Anyway, I don't know nothing about no wine. In case you haven't noticed, try asking my mom. She's...
Greetings.
Sorry.
What do you... He didn't have to choose me. My old ma spent her whole life in this kitchen, and my grandmother before her.
Wait, you're Kvieta's daughter?
It's been a long time since I was afraid you'll forgot.
You haven't changed.
But I have. And you've changed too. Not at all.
And how have you been all this time?
Not really. When he remarried and had another son, his mood improved. I also got married. And soon I had my little Elishka running around. Young Sir Christopher used to come and play with her sometimes.
Tell me more about...
She's a big girl now. She's a maid here for now, but I'm sure that...
Well, aren't you worried about her? A young girl doesn't...
Even as a little girl, she used to beat up the boys in the village. I put up with all sorts of things with...
And your husband...
Cooper? He died when...
God grant... Where am I?
What? Aha, it's Lord...
The rat'll be good, I hope.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rudhart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you feed it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of your fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to this celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles!
Christopher. He can't make it on his own.
I'll hack you to pieces. Bleeding like a sack pig, don't die! Destroy them up! Bleeding like a hungry gun with you in a flash. Yes! That's his facing! That's right! Drive those horses out! So they're coming! I'll cut your arms off! Come to me, someone! I'm like a sword! I'll hang you! You've got him out quickly! We're coming! Brace yourselves!
Jesus! They're surrounding Christopher. He can't make it on his own.
You haven't come. You never saw that coming. Good, Yoko. Fucking hell! I'll smash your We'll keep your Get him! Stand your ground! Bash him on the head! My bones! True blood! Leave him alone! Show your coming! Brace yourself! God!
Oh,
Light him up!
Christ! I'm hit! Do it! able to take another one like that.
Ah, he's hit! He's had it! I'll kill you!
By God's will, die!
Come on, then! I'll hack you! Fucking die already!
For glory and carnage, die!
Got it! Don't spare it!
Taste my steel!
He's nearly got me!
You're done here, Orson.
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Fuck me. Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
Where did they go? Back to Rattay?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope they fucking...
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan.
But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Jobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a while. Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
What happened?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong...
And they almost killed my brother. But only almost.
What do you mean, all?
I got there in time to... Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally, the same as Rutard and Botchek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But we'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even...
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Berg...
You knew he was coming.
He wanted Odorin. He probably had no idea they'd find most of Sigismund's...
I bet he couldn't believe his fucking luck.
And Sigismund will be moving at a gallop. we have to be really careful now.
Is there anything we...
Definitely not right. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Yob.
If I survive the jumping... Oh, God's teeth.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack... That is...
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and right...
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as...
Anyway, we've got work to...
Give me a moment.
Poor animal. Handsome, young, dirty. Well, at least it was over quick. No, you almost took Hinnek of Kusla.
That dry devil was tough old boots. If a horse fell on me, I wouldn't get up again.
We can only hope. God's punishment or not, they brought it upon themselves. Watch. He's as greedy as a pig. And Hinnek is... Well, you know.
Leave it alone, the two of you. Now we're in it with them anyway.
Poor animal. Handsome, young, dirty.
Leave it alone, the two of you. Now we're in it with them anyway.
Good to see you.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse. They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have...
Von Aulitz surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived. Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein, and many other nobles. And they captured our closest and most... Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on...
We can't give up now. It would only...
Exactly. This is a test, and an opportunity to show that we stand by our allies. What? You're right. When I drink too much... Nevertheless, I have to...
Actually, At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack...
Gods, we need to get back to the city and walk.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. You'll be more useful if you stay here. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel.
Should not come here. You did. But I still should. He was covered in blood. Probably wasn't killed. We could easily have ended up lying dead outside. But we would be left without a home. Preaching again. Aren't you a priest?
Do not start.
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How the...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and...
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
What does that make us?
Nothing. Proof, perhaps, that both your god and mine... You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would... Now that I know, I will never see him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But this is not the end. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking...
What's a...
That is hard.
Nonsense. It is as Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack them and all that with a...
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect. We need to get back into the city. And will you come with us, Henry?
I'll come. And lick...
Very well.
Let's not waste...
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka? What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of... And I see, instead of that, you have...
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived?
But of course. I borrowed it too, if you know what...
Could you stop blabbering already?
Easy, Ingele. And you, sir, if you can...
All right. But could you please tell me what the...
I'll explain to you on the way.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of course.
Do you think that's a good idea?
I'm not, but I'm...
All right, then.
Peresh, can we go any faster?
Settle down, son. If you must keep your tongue busy, then use it to pray.
Would you tell me what the fuck is going on already?
Sigismund ordered an attack on the Jewish quarter. We need to get everyone out of there fast.
Bloody hell. I just got ailed up so nicely today.
Oh, that is just great. My mother's life is in the hands of a drunkard.
Don't you worry. These are some sturdy hands. I promise we will save you, Ma. No one will touch a single hair on her beautiful head.
What the hell are you babbling about?
What? Oh, I'm imagining she's pretty. It makes me more willing to put my neck on the line for her.
Stop with the nonsense already. All of you, I beg you.
Jesus. I was just trying to lighten the mood. We might all kick the bucket in a short while.
Damn it, Kubienka, shut the hell up. Seriously.
Hi. I didn't say all that much. Anyway. Can't you make the horses go a little faster, Grandpa? If this carries on, somebody's going to start sobbing.
We really should pick up the pace.
All right. Schnell! Schnell!
What's the matter? Why are we stopping?
We will walk from here. We cannot drive right... But how do we get...
We will go...
There are many abandoned mine shafts under the town.
Won't it collapse on our head?
We'll find out.
Follow me.
What a blessing it is to have found the passageway.
I would be happier if we could do without it.
We all would, lad. But it has been decided. For our many sins.
Our sins? Ours? What the fuck did we do to these people?
Nothing, I'm just blubbering.
I dare you to say that again. Loud and clear.
You know what, sir? Just ignore me and be glad I'm here. And you up front, pick it up, little Kurva. My arse is getting numb.
We should split up here. Me and the rabbi will go this way to the shul. We have to take the Torah and warn everyone.
What about us?
You keep going straight ahead and then to the left. You'll get right to the King Solomon Tavern. Gather up all the secret documents and wait for us.
Shouldn't someone come with you? just in case. How about Kubienka here? Henry and I can handle it.
Well, if you insist.
Was that all the contempt you could muster up?
Well, good luck. We'll see you up there.
This way, Henry. Hopefully we'll find it quickly. I left a stack of my papers in the tavern. And if they fall into Sigismund's hands, people in other towns will die too.
How can a few pieces of parchment be that important? And what do they contain, anyway?
Nothing very pleasant for the most part. Who hates who? Who could be blackmailed with what? Who's hiding where and why? In short, nothing I can afford to lose. Hopefully everything will be all right at the tavern. My stash is locked away, and Samuel's friends are guarding the place. But who knows what the situation is like in the streets now.
Are you afraid?
Me? Do you have any idea how many times I've had to run from a burning town or deal with a hired assassin?
Yeah. More than once, I reckon.
A lot more, I can tell you. But I admit, I was afraid every single time. Damn it.
What's the matter?
The door leading up to the tavern is open. Samuel's men wouldn't have left it like this. Somebody else must have got in.
I think there's someone.
Go and check it out. If they took anything down here, they mustn't. I'll gather up my things in the meantime.
Of his mind, but never saw him come out.
Bugger this, not a damn thing here. If we go back empty-handed... Eric will give us a bollocking again. Damn it.
Baruch Hashem, Henry. You're all right.
Sam, you're back.
A few of the cutthroats got in over the walls, but there are more outside the gate.
4 of them were here in the tavern.
Fortunately, they didn't take anything important.
What?
I'm so sorry. If it's any consolation...
But they didn't look like they just came to the tavern by chance. What about your...
She is, thank God. I told her to get ready.
I'm really sorry about your friend.
There was nothing but Navis Hamardes. This Erik is really pissing me off. I've never laid eyes on him, yet I cannot...
There'll be plenty of time for that later.
I'm sure Mama is waiting for us. We have...
You go ahead. I'll lock the tavern and block the secret passageway so...
But sir...
I can take care of my... God be with you.
Himmel! What's the matter? Where's Sam?
Don't worry, ma'am.
Mein Gott!
Nothing. He's out on the street helping the wounded.
Wait!
My name is Henry.
Of course I do.
I'm his...
Was sagst du?
Sam told me that...
Watch out! More are coming! Run to the back, it might be safer.
What's going on?
Sam!
I'm fine, but we will talk when you are safe.
Now, we have to get to the synagogue.
Through the backyard!
Get him from behind!
Watch out! They're shooting at us! From the ramparts! Get rid of them!
I'm not getting killed, eh?
Keep going.
No.
For the yard.
I shouldn't leave now.
We cannot get past the wagon. We have to go this way. Through the house.
Good! Nice hits! Bleeding fucker! Don't them!
You won't get away with that, bastard!
Come to me, someone. I'm like a sieve.
Mommy, are you all right?
I'm fine. But what about you, mein Kind?
I'm still alive. We can talk later. Now, we have to go.
Come on!
What the hell?
What is it, fuckers? Rather slaughter women and the defenseless?
Let's go! What's going on up there?
Go inside. Quick. It's the fucking task.
I've never been so glad to see you two.
In need of a helping hand, are you?
No. I just don't want to die here alone.
There they are!
Well, now we're really fucked.
We mustn't get inside. We have to hold them back.
For how long, though?
As long as we need to.
What's keeping you? There's more.
God made a joke when he made me.
Useless! Take that, you shit! Find your face! Oh! You'll pay for that!
That was a good hit!
That'll teach you! Destroy them! For fuck's sake! I'll have you easy! Not here! That's what I call it! You'll pay for that!
Come on! Everyone's inside!
Henry, come on!
Let's go!
God more me.
Let's go. It's this way.
That was a close shave. I reckon I should go to Samuel's mother and talk to her about Martin. I won't get another chance.
Thank you, Henry, for everything.
We survived.
Many have died, indeed. It is a hard trial to go through. So many lives lost, the Shul in flames.
I'm so sorry.
You are right. How happy I would be if we could get everyone out.
What will you do now?
Now we must find help in some other community of believers. We will try our luck in Colleen.
Do you think you'll be pursued?
Well, the mercenaries might follow us. We will split up into smaller groups, so we don't... Besides, who would chase us when we have nothing?
So the agreement with the lords in Rabors no longer stands.
What makes you think...
I do, but you've lost everything.
It is true that the Gutenberg Kehile cannot pay for the army now, but others might. Be'ezras Hashem. Especially when they get word of what happened here.
God be with you, Rabbi.
Sei gesinnt.
Don't worry, even if that happens, we'll be able to give it a while. Look at him.
Yes, pull it will, but it will not be fast enough.
Are you alright?
I'm fine, lad.
Is there anything else I...
Mein Gott, boy. Now we have to manage.
I know this might not be the best time, but...
Right now? Well, how is Martin actually?
He,
Oh, the hen of Schutzurara.
Sigismund burned down my village. Pa...
I am sorry to hear that, lad. But that is the Martin I knew. At least you survived.
I'm sorry I don't have better than you.
Do not worry about it. I am just sad he died.
Is everything all right?
Yes, do not worry.
How did you meet?
It was such a... He wanted to open a blacksmith shop in town, but there was no place among you.
And that's where he...
The rabbi gathered the good men so they could decide whether we wanted to have a goy blacksmith. And Martin wouldn't stop looking at me all night. Then it went schlock of schlock.
So what happened that made Martin leave you?
My Martin would never leave me. My father found out we were seeing each other and did his best to drive him away. To marry a Goy, but Martin would not give in, and we kept seeing each other. And
That means pregnant.
yes, my father knew that if word got out, he would not be able to avoid the shame. So he did not miss a beat, and I did not even have time to tell him. I was gone for almost 4 years. In the meantime, my father told everyone that he had married me off. And he only let me come back when he was sure
Did Martin not go look?
people said he did go looking for me. Even as far as Colin. But he did not...
If only he had gone all the way to...
Even if he went to the very edge of the world, it would not have been enough. Father would have hidden me somewhere.
And what about...
No. My father called me a widow.
And he didn't try to find anyone?
You know he did, but it never worked out.
And did you ever...
I asked around, but no one remembered anything. Or they chose, and I could not just leave and go looking for him around the world. I had to...
All right.
Before you go, tell me.
Well, he was strict with me, but not too much. But I dream about him quite often. About that last day and what he said to me while we were forging a sword. He said a life of adventure can be over before it begins. And that blacksmithing might be a dull job, but I keep my head on my neck.
He was absolutely right.
Well, look at me now.
You saved all our lives. He raised you well.
I'm sorry to keep you this long, but even if not related by...
Well, I did not expect... And thank you, my almost brother. If it was not for you, I do not know how today would have ended. What are your plans now?
I'll go back to the Devil's Den.
I will see you there then. But first, I have to escort everyone to Colleen.
Everything should be up.
Take care of yourself, dear brother. I will see you this time.
Have a safe journey.
Sei gesund.
Nice and slow.
You're always welcome here, Christopher.
What's the hold-up, innkeeper?
Here we are. Good. And what can I get for you?